Hi, my name is Zach. I'm doing my presentation over the 1960s, and my topic is the Kansas City Chiefs, or at the time they were the Dallas Texans in the 1960s. And Lamar Hunt is the person that established them in 1959. He was a very smart man who did almost everything they could because he moved them to Kansas City in 1963 after the Dallas Cowboys and the Dallas Texans would eventually part ways, and Lamar Hunt wanted to move into Kansas City. But in those 3 years, they had pretty good records. Their first year they started off in 1960, which was they posted an 8-6 record. In the second year they had a 6-8 record. But then their third season they had an 11-3 record, which was just out of nowhere, and they made it to their first AFL championship game. Back in the 60s, the AFL and the NFL were two different football organizations. Everybody knows what the NFL is, but the AFL was kind of the lower standard of the NFL at the time. So they played against the Houston Oilers in 1963, and they won that game 20-17 in double overtime. And that game in 1963 was the longest championship game ever in professional football history ever. It was like 77 minutes long. And after that, the Dallas Texans and the Cowboys, they parted ways. And so in 1964, when they first started as the Kansas City Chiefs. But a fun fact about that, the Kansas City Chiefs name wasn't going to be the Chiefs. The two favorite ones were the Mules and the Royals. The funny thing about the Royals is that, well, now that's the Kansas City Royals, which is the professional team. They used to be the Athletics before they moved to the Oakland, as everybody knows. They moved to Kansas City, and it was a big thing for Kansas City because it brought in so many people and so much culture to the Kansas City area. And they were really good. They played against Green Bay against an AFL and NFL championship, and they lost, but then eventually all in all, the Dallas Texans / Kansas City Chiefs were probably one of the best teams in that era. They hosted the most wins ever in a 10-year span. With that, I'm going to end it there, and thank you guys for listening.